Hello, everyone. Welcome to our training session this evening. Happy New Year. It's such a pleasure to be back here in 2024 with you guys. I hope you guys are ready to take on the year, and I hope the year has been treating you very well so far. So, today we're going to be looking through how we can actually crush our goals for 2024. Before now, I'd sent out like a link for us to document what our goals are so that we can have something to reflect back on and also to review it like regularly. Goal setting helps us to create a clear path and direction, right, towards a compelling future. Know exactly what we need to do and exactly how we need to do it to get to where we're going, right? So it's very essential that we take off with this session. And when I'm done with the presentation part, we'll probably take up like about three. The presentation is not a very long one. Take up about three goals and do some analysis on it to help others to know exactly what to do in terms of achieving their goals, right? So with that said, let's get into it. Happy New Year once again, right? I pray that God actually grants your heart desires and that all your dreams come true, right? May 2024 be like your best year ever. More love, more joy, more happiness, more peace, great health, success, achievement, any good thing you can think of, I wish it to you this new year. And I pray that we all come back at the end of the year to give great testimonies of how amazing this year has been. Right. So we got to show this year who's boss, right? You need to actually begin very strong and maintain the momentum so that you can finish strong as well. So we start by planning because he who fails to plan is actually planning to fail. And in order to plan, you have to live intentionally. You have to have purpose and direction and grit. We shouldn't be tossed like back and forth. Whatever life brings to us, we toss that direction. We're just basically living every day as it comes, and we don't necessarily have control over our lives or our destiny. That should not be you in 2024. You want to start 2024 with grit, with passion, with purpose, with direction. You want to be able to control your own life, to control your destiny. And that's why we need to set goals. So it doesn't really matter what your goals have been in the past, but you have to set goals now. Whether you've achieved some goals or you did not achieve it and it kind of dampened your enthusiasm or whatever, the past is in the past. It doesn't really matter anymore. It's a new year, it's a clean slate. So, yes, you got to set what goals are because they're actually very important for motivation. When you get tired, when you look at your goals and you see the distance to achieving them, it might give you the inspiration to get up and move on. Of course, because when you have a goal, you have to create a path to achieve it. That gives you a sense of direction. You know exactly what you need to do every day to get to where you're going. And then at the end of the day, there's this sense of accomplishment when you actually check out all those goals and you've achieved them. I'm sure my wife, she's here, she can explain how it feels to actually set a goal and to be able to achieve it. I remember my first year, like I joined Gateway in 2020 August. And then in 2021, when we were like talking about goals, my goal was to actually make $200,000 that year in 2022, like from January to December. And I thought that was a huge goal though. I thought it was huge, like it was big. When motivational speakers aspire to conspire, when they're telling you to set goals, they will like make it very big so that you can push yourself. So that even if you don't get there, you fall somewhere close and it won't be bad at all, right? So I was like, oh, I didn't think I could achieve 200K, but then I'm like, that would be a cool goal to achieve. But at the end of 2022, in that year, actually made over 300,000. Like it was way beyond my goals, and that just blew my mind. So feel free to dream. Feel free to set goals. Feel free to let your imaginations run wild. It is free to dream. Dreams are free. Dreams are like you're not paying to dream. You're not paying to have goals. You're not paying to aspire. So why are you restricting yourself? Why don't you want to go as far as you possibly can? And the cool thing is, whatever the mind can actually conceive, you can definitely achieve it. And that's why you shouldn't hold yourself back. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to be able to envision the possibility of those dreams coming true. Right. So it does, like I said before, the past does not define you or your future. Whatever happened 2023 2022, at the other business you started, at the other goal that you said, whatever what it was, we leave it behind in 2022. It's a fresh new year. It's new. It's a clean slate, brand new year, new dates, new opportunities, new experiences, new money, right? So let's not allow the past. The past is past. It's behind us. Learn from it, move on, and then start afresh, start renewed, start empowered, start encouraged, and then reshape your path and design course of your future by setting the goals, what you want, exactly what you want in your life in the next 12 months, declare it and put it to and get to work. Now, there are different areas of our lives that are important that we need to set goals at. Although I'll be focusing more on like business, career, and professional development because that's what this group is about. But it's important that our goals are balanced, that it actually reflects every important area of our life. That way, we will not be so successful on one part while lacking on some other key areas because they all work together in sync. And so it's important that while we're setting goals for our business, while we're setting goals in terms of what we want to earn and how far we want to go, we should also incorporate the other key areas of our lives in our goal setting, areas such as health and wellness. Health is wealth. I mean, you could have all those goals, all those plans on how you're going to achieve it, and then something just happens and you're not healthy. Like there's a saying that says an healthy man, like a broke person, has a lot of wishes, but a sick man just has one. It just really wants to get well. So while we are struggling and striving to achieve our goals and to excel in business, we shouldn't neglect our health and our wellness. It's important that we prioritize our health. We make sure that we do what we need to do every day, eat right, drink lots of water, hydrate, do your exercises, get moving. I know it can be very tricky because even I that I'm talking, I can be on this chair like 4 hours in a row from one meeting to the other. Right. But that's not healthy at all. I still try to do my 10,000 steps a day, even though I usually fall around 6,000 steps, but that's not bad. Like I do it before I sit down because I know once I sit down, it gets very difficult to start. But all those things are important. Get moving, hydrate, eat right, take lots of fruits and vegetables, hit your vitamins, go for your annual checkup, make sure that your body is strong and healthy because that's when you can actually focus on your goals undistracted. If you're not well, you can't really do anything, even though you know what to do and you desire it, but you don't have the strength. So it will just be a case of the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And we don't want that to happen. So set good health and wellness goals for yourself. Personal growth and development, also very important. Right. Like my very good, let me call him mentor, Jim Rohn would say, you should work harder on yourself than you even work on your job. You need to work harder on you, the person, than you work on your job because everything kind of reflects on you. When you work on yourself to the level, it helps like that money you want to make, you'll be able to make much more because now you're thinking differently. Now you've learned a new skill. Now you know how to do presentations, or you're now a very well sought after public speaker because you worked on yourself. You learned skills. You learned the things that are relevant that the market is looking for. So while focusing on your business, please don't forget to work hard on your own self. So have personal development, personal growth and development goals as well. Then, of course, family and relationship, very, very important. Don't be like Ashake, lonely at the top. You can have so much success. You can achieve all those big numbers that you wrote down. And then don't do it by sacrificing your relationships, your kids, your spouse, your friends, because it gets very lonely when you're there and there's nobody to celebrate with. So try to be conscious about getting everybody along. Let your family, your spouse know what your dreams are so that they can support you and so that they can be very understanding when the going gets tough and you have to put in extra hours and you have to do extra things because they are aware of the goals they tend to be very supportive, right? So do not sacrifice your family and relationship just because you want to go after career and professional success. And then, of course, that's what we're talking about, career, professional development, basically business and stuff like that. That's where that falls. And we are going to talk more about that in the subsequent slides. Of course, there's also goals for financial achievements because, yes, you can be doing well with your finances or making a lot of money. But if you're also spending a lot, you're not better than somebody who is not making money at all. So money management goals, debt repayment goals if you have debts, savings and investment goals. How much do you want to have in assets and stuff like that? You may want to sit down and set those goals as well. And then last but not the least, faith and spiritual goals. Some may not believe that there's something supernatural that controls the world, but I do strongly believe that there is a God and is the center of it all. That's just it. Because man proposes, but God disposes. So we can have all those plans and goals, but if God says no, there's absolutely nothing that can be done. And that's why we need to also set spiritual goals, stay connected to God, stay connected to the source. And it would actually make the burden or the journey much more enjoyable, right? Like Proverbs 16:3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and it will establish your plan. So set the goals and give it to God. It will definitely establish your plans. And trust me, God's ways are way better than our ways, and his plans are way better than our plans. So just let God do the thing. I'm sure it was a good thing with me overshooting my goals because honestly, I was not tired. I was not overwhelmed. I was just prospering with ease. So I know it was a God factor that God had something to do with it. A lot of grace. Yes, there was hard work, there was dedication and all that, but then a lot of God's grace. And that's why it was easy, right? So we want to make sure that all these areas of our lives, we have specific goals and it syncs with our business and professional goals so that everything is balanced. We're not weighing to one side and lacking on the other side. Because if that is the case, we may achieve that goal that we set up, but we may not be very happy. And we want to enjoy, we want to be happy by the time we're looking back and looking at the success that we have achieved this year. So how do we set goals like a pro? Right, how do we set goals? Right, you need to write it down, right? Just like Habakkuk 2 says, he said, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so that the herald may run with it. Whatever it is, if you are thinking something in your head, that's not a goal yet, though. That's just like a thought or a wish or some whatever else, but definitely not your goals. You need to have it written down. It could be on your electronic device, like a phone, your notepad, a notebook, your tablet, or it could be on plain book and paper. Me, I'm a book and paper person. I just like to see it. I just like to read it. Right. So make sure that your goals are written out clearly. Right. It's very, very important. Also, make sure that the goal is smart. This is like very cliche, like almost everybody knows about smart, setting smart goals. But it's really important for you to be able to, for that goal to actually be achievable, you need to actually make sure that it's smart. What does smart means? It is specific. It's not just all over the place or generic. I want to make a lot of money by the end of the year. That's not a goal. You have not set anything. Right. You have to be specific. I want to by the end of 20, like by December 31st, 2024, I would have earned $600,000. Now that's a goal because it's specific. And then it is measurable. When you break down $600,000 by 12, that's about $50,000 in a month. Right. Depending on how far you've gone with your business, how big your client base and all that is, it could be achievable. Nothing is impossible, but it's measurable. So you know that, okay, I need to make an average of $50,000 monthly to be able to hit this target. And then it's achievable depending on your level, your connections, and the amount, whether you're full time and stuff like that. A lot of things. Is it realistic? For somebody like me, it's very realistic. I believe that it's something that can be done. Lying to it, yes, by December 31st. That's at the end of this year. So whatever goals we are setting, we want to make sure that they are smart. Make sure that you're specific. And then they are measurable, they're realistic, they're achievable, and then there is a time frame of which that goal needs to be achieved. Now, determine why you need to achieve these goals. Because when you know the why, then the how becomes very clear. Why do you need to achieve the goal that you wrote down? What is the reason? You need to be able to create a compelling reason to achieve this goal. Like when you dive and dig down to the extent that you feel like if I don't achieve this goal, then I might just die, right? Like there has to be some strong, cogent reason that is attached or to tie to that goal. Like, why do you need to make $600,000 in a year, for example? What would that do for you? How will it change your life? Write down those things as well so that you can always remind yourself why you have these goals in the first place and why it is important for you to achieve it. Right. When you know your why, you find the motivation, you find the resilience. When the chips are down, you're still ready to get back up. You're ready, you know that it is either I succeed or I succeed. There is no other way around it. Right. So when the why is clear, you have that resilience, you have that purpose, you have that strength, that determination to be able to overcome any obstacles that you have on your path and stay committed to your goals. So it's important that we write your goals, then write why you need to achieve it. Now, once we've set our goals like a pro, the way it should be done, now we got to get the bat and smash the hell out of the goals. Just like just like Muyiwa did. Like she literally broke those goals into pieces, smashed it, and then ate it all up. She didn't even leave any crumbs behind. Every single one of the goals that she had set, which actually makes like I'm just super duper proud of her because we all had a difficult year, but that didn't stop her. That's really, really inspiring and motivational, even for me. Right? So how do we smash the hell out of our goals? Now you have to determine how you will achieve this goal. Now you set the goal down. It is looking all smart and nice. And it's time for the action. You know why you need to get that goal done, cleared. And but exactly how do you want to achieve it? Because that's where the realization comes in. You can have all this goal, but if you don't know exactly how you're going to execute it, it is just a wish. Right? That's not a goal if there's no action plan. It is a wish. I just wish that I would become the president of America. That one is wish. Except there is a way that I actually map out. Maybe I have some connections that's going to, or I have a coach that's going to give me like a plan so that that goal is going to be achieved. But if not, it's nothing but a wish, right? Who do you need to become? What do you need to learn? What skills do you need to acquire? What are the things that you need to stop doing? What are the things you need to start doing? What are the things you need to do differently? Like, who do you need to become? What trainings do you need to take? I mean, the trainings are way more, it's way beyond just doing ATPs and all that. Now we're talking about if you feel like, oh, I'm not very fluent at speaking, then you need to learn how to speak in order to achieve your goals so that you can make presentations that would compel people to take action. Right. Oh, I'm not good at social media. It creeps me out. Then you probably need to learn how to use social media. There's nothing in this world that cannot be learned. So that's why you need to determine how exactly you want to execute your goals. Who do you need to become? What knowledge do you need to acquire? What skills do you need to acquire? What do you need to do differently that you've in your life right now? All those things need to be clear. So you need to create a map, massive action plan. How exactly do you intend to achieve this goal based on your own resources, based on your own characteristics, based on your own realities? My map may be 100% different from yours because we are two different people. So you look into yourself and be very honest with yourself. How exactly am I? I have set this goal. How exactly do I need? What exactly do I need to do in order to achieve it? Create a massive action plan and run with it. Break down your goals into simple, actionable steps. Every goal looks gigantic, like in the beginning, right? But when you break it down into monthly targets and then weekly targets and then daily actionable steps, it really becomes easier and simpler. So now you have like small roadblocks to check off or as milestones, not roadblocks. You have small milestones to check off. And then you do that consistently on a daily basis. It all builds up over time. And then before you know it, you are the ultimate goal, right? So you need to break down all your huge goals into simple, actionable steps, weekly to dos, daily to dos, monthly to dos, and then it all looks easier to achieve at that point. A daily schedule you have to create a daily schedule, right? The secret to your success is determined by your daily agenda, what you do every single day. It's not what you do sometimes, not what you do when you're excited, not what to do when you feel like. It's what you do every single day. And if you want to be a master at anything, you need to learn how to do it daily, right? So you need to create a daily schedule. What do I need to do? Like Great Way has the 5-2-1 thing. It means reach out, connect with 5 people in a day. That's the daily part of it. Out of these 5 people, you may get 2 presentations in the whole of the week, and then you close one. That way you have businesses every week. And that could basically land you 120K at the end of the year, because you can as well make up to $10,000 in a month by doing that if you have quality clients. Right. So the weekly is close one, do one presentation. But then the daily is reach out to 5 people daily. If that part is removed from the equation, then it becomes difficult to get to get the number of appointments you need to be able to close that one person. Right. So I hope you understand why it's important that you have a daily schedule that syncs with your weekly and monthly targets. Okay, then stick with your schedule, your daily schedule, then do one more, right? Normal achievers, normal advisors will create the daily schedule and at least reach out to 5 people on a daily basis with the hope of getting a few presentations during the week. But you know what extraordinary advisors would do? They would do one more. So rather than do 5 reach outs, they'll do 6 instead. Just doing that one is you putting an extra on your ordinary. That extra one you do sets you apart. That's 1 times 30. That's 30 extra reach outs in a month. And then multiply by that by 12. That's 360 extra reaching out in a month. And that could have lots of in a year. And that could have a huge ripple effect. Right? So stick with your daily schedule, whatever it is. It may not be reaching out to 5 people. It may be something else. Whatever you need to do on a daily basis, stick to it and then add one. Put a little extra on your ordinary so that you can become extraordinary. Right. So don't forget, the secret to your success is determined by your daily agenda. It's what you do every day that would reflect on how successful you become. Now, celebrate and reward yourself whenever you check every item on your daily to-do list. When you actually do everything that you have set out to do that day. For me, it includes my other goals as well. Getting my 10,000 steps, check. Drinking 8 glasses of water, check. Eating my vitamins, check. Connecting with a few people, check. Doing the number of appointments I set out to do, check. If you're able to do everything on a daily basis, spend time with my family, check. Do this, and that with the kids, check. After everything is checked, then I deserve a treat. So reward yourself. Find something nice. It could be your reward and treats does not even have to cost money, but anything that you enjoy doing that you deny yourself because you're so busy. It could be as simple as watching a movie. It could be as simple as going to somewhere to or do it could just be anything that makes you happy. Reward yourself and feel cool about yourself. And then, of course, not every days are going to be perfect because life is just not like that. Life is just filled with ups and downs. So it can't just be smooth and every day you're able to achieve all your goals. So there will be some days when it just wouldn't work out. Maybe you have to travel or maybe some emergency somewhere or these days life shall happen. Yes, realize that yes, you didn't meet up with your goals and try to make up for it. Don't just and make sure you get back on track as soon as you can. Because the moment you draw back, then it becomes easier not to continue. And then one day turns to 2 days and turns to 1 week and turns to 3 weeks. And before you know it, you've lost track completely. It's just like people that, I want to start gymming, I want to stay fit, and they go to the gym, intensity, they do everything from treadmill, they're jumping to this other side and jumping to that other side. And they do all that initial gra for like 1 week. And then one day they're just like, I beg, I'm not going today. From that one day becomes 2 days. Before 1 month has finished, subscription has wasted. And then later they're like, let me just cancel this thing so that my money is not wasting. That's essentially what happens. So you need to be able to discipline yourself and make up for when you don't meet up and try to catch up as soon as you can. Catch yourself and try to catch up. Then it's also important to have an accountability partner. Find somebody who has similar goals with you so that you guys can check in with each other regularly, motivate each other, help each other, and then draw strength from each other. It's just like the Bible says, one which is 1,000, but then 10, 2, which is 10,000. I mean, even Christ, when he came, he needed disciples. Like, he needed people around him. Even though he was the owner of the world and he could do and undo, he had to go out and pick out the 12. So it's important that you have good people around you that are motivating you, that are also moving in your direction. Right. Okay. Then review your goals regularly. Review your goals and know where you need to make adjustments. If you happen to be going on super fast speed and you're hitting the goal, extend it, make it bigger so that you can have reasons to get up. Else you just feel conceited, like, why do I need to bother so much? Right. Then last but not the least, enjoy the journey. It's very important that you are enjoying what you're doing. That's the only way you wouldn't feel so burnt out, so overwhelmed. Because I looked at the goals, those goals are huge, guys. Like, those goals are huge. And the only way you want to do, you want to get to the finish line without feeling pent is to enjoy the journey. Success is in the journey, not the destination. I mean, some of us have actually experienced some really like, oh, I'm running for SVP, I'm running for, I finally become SVP. I thought I would be excited for months. I wasn't even excited for the whole day, probably like 4 hours, and the whole, it's gone. Like, so imagine that's what happens no matter what it is. You probably just be excited for a couple of, wow, I did it. Good job. Like, but it doesn't stay forever. Or maybe I'm the one that is not normal, Sha. But before you know it, you're already thinking, what's the next? What's the next thing? And if you're the kind of person that makes it difficult to enjoy the journey, it's go, 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 go. You can't see anything else. You can't find the pleasures or the enjoy the process. And you get it. Oh, great, done. And you're looking at the next one, and you just end up being some loner with nobody around you because you would be so pathetic. Right. And that's why it's important that we enjoy the journey because success is not at the destination. You'll be so disappointed that the elated, oh, I have done it feeling doesn't last for so long. It wears off after a couple of hours, maybe days. And then everything goes back to normal, right? So enjoy the journey. Very important. If you're feeling overwhelmed or pressured, review your action plan. Something is not right somewhere. Review your action plan. Like, it shouldn't be so tedious. Maybe you're not leveraging on your strengths so that you are naturally thriving in your plans. Make sure that your plan is done in such a way that it wouldn't choke the living daylight out of you. We want you to get to the end line happy, strong, excited, not drained and overwhelmed and all that, right? So if you're feeling pressured or overwhelmed or you're not able to keep up, you probably have piled too much on yourself and you need to review your daily action, your daily schedule, your action plan, and all those other things that we mean everything should sync. Right. And then it's important to hydrate, drink water, drink water. I'm talking to myself when I say that I'm a very poor water drinker. My daughter literally comes to remind me, Mommy, it's time to drink water. Right. Hydrate, take breaks when necessary. Please don't be sitting down 4 hours in a row. Get up, stretch, walk around, play some music, shake it out, right? Get enough rest. When you're tired, please go and rest. Work cannot finish. If you finish everything today, what would you do tomorrow? Right? Take rest, right? Sleep when needs to be sleep. And I'm talking to myself, Adeola, sleep. Right? Sleep when you need to sleep. Exercise, get fit, get active. We want to enjoy all this money in good health, not taking drugs or staying in or confined to a bed. So it's important. And all this helps to, release dopamine into your system, boost your mood, boost your energy, allows you to exude positive vibes and all that. Jeez, I thought I wouldn't take more than 30 minutes. I just saw the time and move. Okay, last but not, you need to, no, we're not last here. Okay, almost last. Utilize laws of attraction. All the things we've discussed up to now is based on the things that you can control. You need to utilize the laws of attraction. Like I said, every other thing that I've spoken about before now is dependent on the things that you can do. Next time, please shut my door. It's dependent on the things that you can do, right? That you have control over your schedule, exercising and doing all that, doing your presentations, reaching out. But there's also more to it, actually. You may or may not believe, but there's something called universal intelligence. And you need to know how to tap into the laws of attraction. You need to be able to tap into universal intelligence. Have a positive and growth mindset. All battles are won right from here in the mind. There was somebody that was given a cancer diagnosis. I don't know. I read it in a book. I don't know if it is real or fiction. And they knew that there was no cure for that form of cancer. But then the son invited one professor, and the professor came and said he's testing something and that it had worked by curing cancer on a rat and all that, and that it was going to work. And she just had to take that, go out and do some activities and take just one spoon of that thing every day for like 180 days or something like that. This was just like vitamins. There was nothing inside inside that medications. But because the woman believed that that was going to cure her, she just got healed. What did the healing? Nobody can really say, right? Because she wasn't taking medications or anything. That thing they were giving her was just vitamins. They just wanted to work on her mind or something, or play some tricks, and she got healed. So, and then you would see some people, really, happiness heals them. Some people, they've not even heard, like, they are good. Like, they can go all over the place. They are so energetic. And then they just go and they get a bad news from the doctor and they become so sick. It's not the sickness that has weighed them down. It's just their thoughts, and all those things just brings down their morale, and they just become very sick. Right. So it's important to have a positive, an optimistic mindset. You need to train your mind. It's important because you attract your most dominant thoughts. Think positive, uplifting thoughts only. Yes, life can happen and it becomes so difficult to stay positive, but you need to be conscious. You have a control over what you think and how you think. And so you need to make sure that the dominant thoughts in your mind are positive thoughts. And it's important that, if you're thinking so much about something you don't want, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. You will likely end up failing because the subconscious mind cannot decode all this I don't want to in the front. The only thing it is seeing is the fail, 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 because that's where your focus is. That's where your attention is. So when you're saying I don't want to fail, I don't want to fail, I don't want to, that's why people who are holding on to crumbled relationships, I don't want to be single, they end up being single. They end up getting a divorce. So rather than that, if you say, oh, I don't want to have cancer, I don't want to have cancer. Oh, cancer is so horrible. Cancer is happening to so many people. The only thing the mind is saying is cancer, cancer, cancer. You probably end up attracting cancer to your life. Rather, how can I stay healthy? How can I be energetic? Watch people that are like, what can I do to be more healthy? What can I do to be more full of life? Focus your thoughts on what you want, not on what you don't want. So make sure that you're wiring your brain properly, because if you're focusing on the negative that you don't want, you end up attracting it, because whatever is dominant in your mind is what the universe gravitates towards you. So always have that positive, control your thoughts that it is predominantly positive. You are excited, you're grateful. Gratitude and anxiety cannot exist in the same body. You cannot be listening to music and dancing and at the same time you are depressed. That depression will have to leave for the happiness to thrive. And then when the happiness goes, then depression will come back. So if you are all the time in a happy mood, or you're trying to be in state as much as you can, and you're thinking positive thoughts, think towards what you want. Don't think about what you don't want. Even if you're saying, I don't want it, focus your thoughts in the positive direction. That way you're going to attract it. Also, eliminate all limiting beliefs and negative self-talk, guys. All that bullshit story you told yourself, throw it behind in 2023. They are not true. They're just lies that your subconscious mind made up and you have believed it over time. Eliminate all those limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. I'm not good at presenting. I'm not good at social media. I don't have contacts. I don't like marketing. I don't like sales. I don't like talking to people. All those things, rubbish. They're not true. That's not who you are. Those are just lies that you told yourself and you've come to believe it over time. All those things, this shit, don't bring it to 2024. You need it no more. It doesn't serve you anymore. Leave it behind. Focus yourself, encourage yourself, say good things to yourself. No, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. What exactly are you good at? Focus on that. I know that I'm good at this. I know that I'm good at that. That's better. That's more uplifting. That's more inspiring. Right. So all this negative sector, ditch it, please. We don't need it in 2024. It's new year, please. New standards, new goals. Defy the odds. Like smash old records, set new ones, raise the standard. You have to be a different person to achieve a better result than what you have been achieving, right? Also, train your mind to always see the good in every situation. Some people are perpetual pessimists, and it doesn't help us. That way, you're sending wrong signals to the universe, right? That way, you're sending wrong signals to the universe. You need to train your mind to be optimistic, to always see the good in every situation. No matter how bad the situation is, there's always something good to bring out of it. I mean, a very big example is COVID. COVID happened in 2020. Everything came to a halt. The economy crashed. A lot of people died and all that. That happened. But you know that if you look at it very well, we're being very sincere. COVID also came with a lot of good things, a lot of innovations, I mean, we're able to do this now because COVID happened. Most of the time, people would just go to in-person things, but now virtual is now as normal as day. This was not it pre-COVID. Free situation, no matter how bad, has something good. Train your mind to always see that good thing that is in that situation so that there would always be a reason for you to be grateful. So that you're always in a state of gratitude, in a state of thankfulness. That's a very good state to be because that way you attract good things into your life. Every disappointment is a blessing in disguise. No matter how bad something can be, there has to be something good somewhere. Look for that good thing. Every tunnel, there's light at the end of every tunnel. Rather than complaining, oh, it's so difficult to get around, it's so dark, I'm eating all kind of obstacles, I am doing this. Rather, look for the lights. They say there is a light at the end of this tunnel. I need to get to this light as fast as I can and focus on that. You would be shocked at how speedily you'd get to the light because that's where your focus is. But while you're focusing on all your problems and all your obstacles and all the things that is not going right in your life, it magnifies, it becomes bigger, and then you're stuck in that web, right? So you need to be, it takes a while, but it's absolutely doable. Train your mind to always see the good in every situation, no matter how bad it is. Look for the good thing and be grateful for that. When you move from a state of complaint, of sadness, of depression to a state of graciousness, of gratitude, of thankfulness, things turn around in your life. You begin to feel better. And then when you're feeling better, you can think clearer and then you can find solutions much faster. So apart from the what you say, also envision. Try to envision a compelling future. You can create a vision board, and I saw them do that in the Calgary office yesterday. Isidore, I saw your own, by the way. It was looking really nice, right? That big house right there in the center caught my attention. Okay, so envision a compelling future. You can create a vision board for the future you want to be. If you want to be on the stage receiving multiple awards, put yourself right there and envision yourself doing that. You can create a picture. You can even Photoshop it and put, you can look for one of my videos, cut off my head and put yours. I'll put it on your vision board so you can see yourself holding those. Envision is see it with your mind eye, gravitate towards it. Guys, it may sound like gibberish, but that thing works. I know for certain that it works, right? So you want to do that. Okay. Now we've talked about the mind, your thoughts, power of positive thinking. We also need to exploit the power of spoken words. The things you say, the things that come out of your mind, right? Whatever you say out into the universe would come back to you. What goes around, what comes around. And so it's important that you use affirmations to manifest your desires on a daily basis. Whatever it is that your goals is, like for example, the 600K goal, I would affirmation that would sound like I'm grateful now that I'm earning $50,000 monthly from my insurance business. That's a goal that has been turned into an affirmation. And then I say this every day with all the other affirmations that I have. I say it when I'm jogging, I say it when I'm dancing, I'm saying when I'm in state. It's possible to it's important to be in state, in an excited state. How do you get in state? Listen to music, do some exercise, shake your physiology, distort the system, right? When you're saying things in that state, there is a possibility for it to happen much faster, right? Convert your goals into affirmations and say it, repeat it out loud to yourself on a daily basis, and make sure that you get into state very often. And then also create a vision statement. I read one book that changed my life, literally. It's Think and Grow Rich. Honestly, I would say I manifested my first 250K in this business. And that's why I didn't feel any kind of, because I didn't have any massive action plan. Oh. I was just doing my thing. But I was very, very faithful with doing my affirmations daily. And I did have a vision statement. So to create a vision statement, the sample, I took the sample from the book, I wrote it down, and I read it every single day after doing my affirmations. Like, I'm sure there was some supernatural thing. It was definitely not by my hard work or my power, because the odds were literally not, like, there were so many odds. And I was new in Canada. I had no connections. I didn't have any Canadian anything educational background apart from the HLQP license. I had no, it was COVID, economic was down. Like, so many things I could have sat down and said, this is not the best time to start this business. But then that's when that was when I'm like, what a time to be alive. Now people are at home, they are sheltered in place, they cannot go anywhere, lockdown. If I ask them to come for a meeting, they better jump on it because they get to see somebody outside their family to talk to. And it worked like magic. Like, people were excited to come on Zoom, at least to talk to somebody and learn something. And those led to closes. Talk about seeing the good in every situation, right? And of course, people were dying everywhere in the world, healthy, sick, young, old. That was another reason to talk about life insurance and its importance, right? So it's important that we actually create vision statements. Let me share an example of what my vision statement for the $600,000 goal will look like. You can screenshot it and use it to draft yours as well. It's not something overly too long, but it goes like, by the 31st of December 2024, I will have made nothing less than $600,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will provide the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the best possible quality of insurance/financial advisory using the Great Faith Financial platform. I believe that I would have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can see it with my eyes and I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at a time, and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to return for it. So help me God. Like, that was what my vision statement looked like. I've just tweaked one or two things right there. But then I would sit down and envision all that money that I really wanted to make. And trust me, it works like magic. So you may want to try it out. Right. Welcome to your best year ever. Way better than all the success and achievements that you have had in the past combined. May it pale in comparison to what God is about to do in your life in 2024. Go and crush your goals, guys. And we're all here to cheer each other on. So thank you so much for coming out to training this evening.